All right, guys, practice test number one. Going through all this for you. Hopefully, it helps a little bit for your first test, and hopefully, you'll do great. First one says write the intervals in inequality and also using set notation. Remember, when you see inequality, it means a greater than or less than symbol. And because this says 3 to 107, I put the X in the middle. Notice how the signs are facing. Also, 107 has an equal to bar because it has a bracket up here. Set notation, remember, just use your braces. And then remember, all X such that. That's the only difference. You're using the same thing again, except with the all X such that. Number two also says write an inequality. They give you set notation, which means they gave you the inequalities. Just recopy it down here, and you got it. Interval notation is what you had up here. Notice it says interval. And because there's no equal to signs here, I use parentheses for both of those. So make sure you get 1 and 2. All right, number three there's really one column with a whole bunch of answers. Had to give domain based on this picture, the range, and also the end behavior, and write it all three ways. That's why it looks so long. First of all, the graph's going left and right forever. Remember, domain means how far left and right it's going because it has arrows going. It's getting wider and wider as it goes. So it's going forever. That's how you write forever. Negative infinity to positive infinity. As an inequality, you write it that way. Remember, greater than, less than symbols. Set notation, all X such that, and write the same thing. Range is the Y. Don't forget it's the Y. So you're looking at the Y-axis now and how far up and down it goes. Remember, you read it from down to up. So this one starts at 2 and actually hits the 2. That's why there's a bracket there. And it goes up forever, so put infinity. Two ways you can write the inequality. You can just put y is greater than or equal to 2 if you want to. Or if you want to use an infinity symbol, you can do it that way. But make sure you put the equal to bar with the 2 because it does touch the 2. And then set notation, just write the inequality with y such that. And make sure when you're doing range that you use y because remember range is y. And then end behavior. You know, when you start this problem on Friday, you can write this much right here all the way to the f of x, right? X goes to negative infinity, f of x. X goes to positive infinity, f of x. You can also put the arrows. That never changes. That's always the same. So then look to the left. As you look to the left, where's the graph going? It's going up forever, so you put positive infinity. This one means right. As you look to the right, where's the graph going? It's going up forever, so you put positive infinity again. And that's all you do for 3. Number 4, they give you a function to graph, and they also tell you the domain, and then you got to tell what the range is and draw the graph. So remember, domain is x. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take this x right here and plug it in for x. I did that, worked that. You can use your calculator if you need to, or you just cancel like I did and get 4. Then plug the 4 in for x. Do the same thing. I showed you my work here and got that point. Take the 2 points, the 2, 4, and the 4, 7, and plot them on your graph and connect them with a line. That's your graph. And then your range is, again, how far up and down does it go? It goes from 4 up to 7. And that's your range. So I wrote it right there. It touches both of them, so there's brackets. Also, your answer for range will be what you get over here. Whatever you get here, that's also going to be your range. That's a little hint for you. 2 to negative 1. You can use brackets if you want to. These, it doesn't really matter because you can use those numbers again. Negative 2, negative 1. If you use brackets, that's good. One or the other. Make sure you enclose them in something. Where else is it going up? 1 to 2. 1 to 2. I'm stopping right there a second. Okay, you see right here? You see it's going up right there? Look at the x. What's the x right here? Okay, right there. Where's that? What's the x right there? Negative 1. Okay, look at this. Going up. What's the x? 1. Right there. What's the x? 2. 1 to 2. 1 to 2. Here's the good news. Faso. Sorry. Do what?
On that flank, so we just don't use the Y.
Don't use the Y at all. That's why I put that big blue thing up there. Don't use the Y's. Yeah, I know you want to because you're thinking about how far up and down it's going. Like, I don't want to use the Y too. Got to use X's. Use the X's. Let me erase real quick. The yellow stuff up there. Okay, watch this now. Number 6 is where's it going? Where's it decreasing? It's decreasing here to here. That's where it's going down. Now, the good news is it's everything else, right? If it's increasing 2 to 1, negative 2 to negative 1, 1 to 2, it's decreasing between whatever's left, which is negative 1 to 1. That's where it's going down. Use the X's. Use the X's. Okay, I'm stopping right there. Once you tell your part, see, there's a lot of erasing and stuff like that, and you're writing them down, which is good. That's too easy. There's no work there. You're just looking at the graph to where it's going up, where it's going down. So this for me. I'm taking one quick lap. Tell your partner all about that one. Those two. Got it? Teach. Come on, come on. Use the X's.
Number 7 right.
Yes, sir. You good? Okay. Domain range. You ought to be I think out of all these questions, I'm hoping you get domain and range because we've done those a lot. Domain, first of all. Domain, how far left and right is going. X's, domain is X, right? How far left and right is going. It goes from -2, +2. Walking around, most of you had that. Range. Please be careful on range. Range is how far up and down it goes, but you always go down to up. And remember, range is Y. This is the only time you're going to use the Y. I need the Y down here and the Y up there. How far down to up is it going? What's the down part? What's that Y right there? -3. What is up here? 3. There it is. So I'm going to go -3, +3. Domain and range. Left and right, up and down. Number 8. Let's do what are these two? Then we'll teach again. I'll give you rule 5 right here if you can get this. What's another word for rate of change? What? Slope. Rule 5? Rule 5. Good, rule 5. Oh, yeah. Go slope. Can't get that clap down quite, but getting closer. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to M, the slope. Don't forget this. Oh, my gosh. X is going to the bottom. Give me X's on the bottom. Yeah, so I'm putting -2 minus -1 on the bottom. The X is going to the bottom, not the top. One kid told me one time, he remembered it because he learned slope doing rise over run. You remember doing rise over run? Rise over run, right? Y, he said Y's rise. Because the Y's rise. So Y's rise rhymes. So he said Y's rise goes on top. Y's rise, Y's on top. Okay, look at -2 in the X. There's -2. What's the Y coordinate right there? That's the X coordinate. What's the Y coordinate? 0. Find -1. -1 is right there. What's the Y coordinate? 3. So I'm going to put a 3 on top. So all you do is subtract 0 minus 3. It's -3. If you do -2 minus -1, you do change, you get -1. They're both negative, so what do you end up with? +3. Rate of change. I need to teach those two. Question, domain range, rate of change, slope. Domain range, rate of change, slope. Y's on top, X is on bottom. Y's on top, X is on the bottom. Teach. Come on.
From the top to the bottom. So, in other words, my main view, they were to on there to find the rate of change. The X's on the bottom and the Y's on the top. So, on top is 0 minus 3.
I see. Question. Those two. Awesome. Okay. 9 and 10. We're out of room up here. 9 and 10. Careful what you're talking about. 9 and 10. This is not bad at all. Positive. Write you a little note on your paper right here. You ready? Write positive. Where it says positive, put, like over here, put above the x-axis. That's all it means. Positive means above the x-axis. Guess what negative means for number 10? Below the x-axis. Where is it above? Where is it below? Where is it above? Where is it below? Do you see the blue stuff I have on top of here? Use the x's. I'm using the x's. Tell where's above, where's below. Here's one thing I know. This thing right here, it's above right here. That's where it's above. That's where it's positive. It's above up there. Use your x's. It is above between -2 and 0. Using your x's. Between -2 and 0, it's above the x-axis. It's below down here. Trying. There we go. I don't know what just happened. It's below. Try that again. Yeah, down there somewhere. I'm trying. Down there somewhere. Use your x's. Use your x's. Where is it below? Between 0 and 2. Use x's. I've said that like 75 times. Use x's. Last one. Zeros. Positive is above. Negative is below. 0 means where it touches the x-axis. Touches the x-axis 3 places. 1 is right there. 1 is right there. 1 is right there. Just got to name them down here. 1's at -2. 1's at 0. 1's at +2. 3 zeros. Positive above, negative below, zeros. Where does it touch? X-intercepts. Zeros means x-intercepts. You heard that word before, x-intercepts? X-intercept? Kasi, teach those 3 real quick. Those 3 should have been easy. Those 3 pretty good. Out of all those, I think that's the best. Those 3. Just don't forget to use the x's. Use the x's. Teach. Let's go. That's over. Halfway done. We need to stand up a second. Are we good? We'll finish it. We'll stand up a minute.
Finish.
Finish? Let's do it. All right, 5 through 11 are all based on this one picture, and I've already colored all over it there, so I'll talk through it again, but I won't be able to use those colors. Number 5, where's the increasing? Increasing means it's going up. So from there to there, it's going up, and also there to there, it's going up. And don't forget this, use your x's. Don't even worry about the y's. You're using your x-axis. So from here to here, it's increasing from -2 to -1. Don't use the y. It's also going up from here to here, which on your x-axis is between 1 and 2. So that's where those answers came from. If you use brackets there, that's completely fine too. Number 6, where is it decreasing? Well, it's going down from here down to there. That's where it's going down. Use your x's again. That x is -1. That x is +1. So it's going down from -1 to +1. Domain and range. Domain is how far left and right it goes. Domain is x's. So it's going from -2 to +2. That's your domain. Your range is how far up and down it's going. It's your y. So it goes as low as -3 here and goes up to +3 there. So that's the range. Number 8's rate of change. Rate of change means slope. The way you do your slope, remember, is do y minus y on the top, x minus x on the bottom, and then just work it out. They tell you your x's. That goes on the bottom, -2, and it's always a minus sign, minus -1. When you subtract those, you go change, you get -1. Now the numbers on the top, you have to look at the graph. Find -2 in the x-axis, which is right here, and what's the y-coordinate right there? Well, it's 0, so I put a 0. Now find -1 on the x-axis, which is right here. Find the graph, it's right there. Where's the y? It's 3, so I put a 3. So on the top, put it 0 minus 3. They're both negative. Divide, you get +3. That's rate of change. Remember, another word for that is slope. Number 9, where is it positive? Positive means above the x-axis, which is this part right here, the yellow part of the graph. And remember, use your x's, not your y's. It's positive from -2 to 0. And then where's it negative? Well, it's negative down here. Use your x's again. Between 0 and 2 is where it's negative. And then ask you where the zeros are. If it's positive up here and negative down here, the zeros are where it crosses the x-axis. Where is it on the x-axis? The x-intercept is another word for 0. -2 at 0, and at 2. Wherever it touches the x-axis, those are your zeros. Oh man, these all go together too. Do this for me. I'm going to do this for you on 15. Think of 15. Think of 15. I want you to circle this. Circle this. If you circle this tomorrow, you get it right. Circle it. Because I didn't teach you that, I'm not going to teach you that. So I'm going to give that to you. I made the test way before school started. I forgot to put that on there. That's a free 4 points if you circle that. Circle that 4. That means if you write your name and circle 15, you got 8. That's right. So let's see, we've done 11 already. 11 times 4 is 44. Write your name, 48, 52. You got a 52. That's it. You need your calc. Scatter plot. Scatter plot. Scatter plot. You got to draw it, write your equation, and predict 45. Oh.
Okay, I see.
You clear this? Give me 1 second. Rule 5. Rule 5. Yeah, and some other conversations again. Be careful. I'm going to go through this really quick. Anybody get there with me or no? Where did I get the 45? Okay, let's go through real quick. Calculator steps, just make sure you got 12 through 15 are scatter plot problems. That's based on your calculator. Let's see here. Also, remember 15, I'm going to tell you actually tomorrow or Friday, if you will just circle interpolation, you'll get 15 right. I'm not going to worry about those words with you guys. I put the steps on the board for y'all for your calculator. Remember, it's a clear list L1, L2 first. Punch your number, go to Stat, Edit, punch your top numbers in L1, bottom numbers in L2. Go to your calculator, turn your stat plot on, choose scatter plot, and hit zoom 9. Zoom 9 graphs it for you. So right here you hit zoom 9, and once you hit zoom 9, you'll see your graph, and you just copy it down on here. Just copy down whatever you see, and I think it kind of does this. I think it's going down. I don't remember exactly what that one's doing. Now to get your equation for number 13, you go back to Stat, and you go to Calc on your calculator, and you do number 4. Remember, number 4 says linreg. You're looking for a linreg, line of regression, and it will tell you exactly what to write. So you just copy that straight down from your calculator, and then for number 14, it tells you to make a prediction for 45. Just take that 45 and put it in for that x right there, which is what I did on that problem right there. And everyone should get the exact same answer because everyone's using the calculator. So if we need to go through those steps one more time in class right before we take the test, we'll take the time to do that. But hopefully you're good there. Okay, let's see here. 16, 17 are just shifts. When you see the word translate, that means shift. This is left 3. So I took this graph right here. I took this point, went up 3 over. This point went 3 over. That point went 3 over to the left. And remember, left and right is inside the parentheses, opposite of what you think. So 3 left meant plus 3. The second one says stretch vertically by a factor of 2. Vertical is y-axis, which means I'm going to multiply my y-coordinates by 2. That y-coordinate is 0. 0 times 2 is still 0. This one right here is at 2. So if I do 2 times 2, that's 4. Down here, 0 times 2 is still 0. So it just got stretched by 2 that way. And a vertical stretch is a number in the front. And it's exactly like you think. So if it says stretched by 2, you put a 2 in the front, multiplied. 18 says reflect. Remember, negative, and it says reflect across the x-axis. So you take this graph right here, just, I hate to say this, but you flip it across the x-axis. So this part right here just gets flipped down here. And then the way you know where the negative goes, remember, negative in the front reflects across the x. Negative inside would have reflected across the y. So I put the negative in the front of the f of x right there. Slide. I didn't. 19 was even though. We talked about that one in class. I think it was this. I think it was 5x squared or something like that. Ask if it's even or odd. What happens, you can punch that straight in your graphing calculator, hit zoom 6 this time, and what you're going to see is you're going to see a graph that does this. And remember, as long as it's symmetric with the y-axis, meaning if you fold this side over, it hits this side perfectly over there, then it's a yes, it's even. I forgot if this is even or odd or yes or no or whatever, but that one is even. Now, if it shifts it this way or that way, it's no longer even because it has to be, the y-axis has to be right smack in the middle of it. It's got to be symmetric with the y. Okay, this is one. Number 20, actually, I think I skipped it. 19, see if I had that one. Okay, number 20. It says a bike rider starts at a fast pace and rides 40 miles in 2 hours. So he's going the same pace for 2 hours. He gets tired and slows down, going only 20 miles in the next 3 hours. He slows down. He takes a rest for an hour, then rides back where he started at a steady pace for 4 hours, which means he goes the same rate for 4 hours. Set a graph that matches. Okay, I picked this one. You can barely see it, but what happens is he starts off pretty good. He's going pretty good. Then he slows it down. So it's not as steep. It's steep at first, not as steep. Then it flattens out that's where he's resting. And then I don't know if you can barely see this, but that right there is where he's going the same rate because it's a straight line the whole way back. So that's it. If you look at this one's like he started, slow, then went fast, and then rested, then went fast again. This one went the same rate the whole way, rested, went the same rate the whole way. This one just doesn't make any sense. So had to be that one. Now, answer your questions here. The slope of the line between 0 and 2 is steeper than a slope of the line from 2 to 5 because he was moving faster. He stopped for an hour, so the section from 5 to 6 right here is actually just flat because he was stopped right there. All right, 21, this is just put the right answer in the box. You can see the number line right here. This is actually the same kind of thing as number 1 and 2 were, just kind of a flashback to those. Notice that 3 is shaded in, and that part of the number line shaded, so that x is greater than or equal to 3. Just kind of move that over there. Set notation, same deal. Don't forget that all x such that, and it has to have the equal to sign, so I took that one, moved it over there. Interval notation, 3 has to have a bracket because it's filled in, 3 to positive infinity. That one should be pretty easy for you. 22, kind of moved out of the picture there. Okay, yeah. Inverse, they're giving you the points. Remember, the inverse, the first thing you do with inverses is you just switch the x and y. So that's all I did. I took these points, just switched them around. X and y's, put them on the graph down here. Make sure you plot them. And the way you can check it is, remember, the line y equals x has to go right through the middle of them. And I'm not going to do this. Well, let me try it. See if I can make this bigger first. If I can see it well enough. I'm going to freehand this, so it probably won't be very good, but I'm going to give it a shot. If you graph y equals x, it kind of goes right through. That's horrible. Goes right through there, but you can see what happened. The blue and the black each have a partner that's the same distance away from that line, the line y equals x. And that line, if you want to draw it to check your work, it's not a bad idea, but you don't have to do that. The main thing is plot your points. All right, last two. Find the inverse. Remember the steps here. Step 1, switch y and x. Take your y and x, switch them, and then you get the y by itself. Y all by itself. And they've already got this thing for you. They've already got that little f-1 and g-1, so they've already got that done for you. So in 23, I did this. I put the x here. I switched places with the x and the y, like this. I moved the 8 over, put x plus 8 equals y over 2. Remember, fraction bar means divide. The opposite of divide is multiply. And I didn't do a good job there. I just caught myself on that one. If I multiply everything by 2, both sides by 2, I would get 2x plus 16. I'll put 8 right there. I'm glad I'm doing this video. And then 24, same deal. I took my x and y's and switched them. Now I got to get the y by itself, so I move the 4 over first. That's negative 4. Divide by negative 2. And there it is. Divide the whole side by negative 2 there. I think when we left the other day, I think you might have 2 or 3 stars, so you got those stars to look forward to. I'll tell you about those Friday, but you cannot leave any question blank. You got to try everything to use your stars. And we'll take some questions for about the first 15 minutes if you have any, based on the video or anything else. So study this, watch this video as many times as you need to. I'm going to fix it to where you can skip around on it so you can watch the same column over and over as much as you need to. And I hope you do great. See you Friday.